ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا. My respected brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is known with His infinite qualities. Some ulama have said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have 5,000 names, 99 of which are commonly known, but there are 5,000 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and each name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala represent a certain quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you want to summarize the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can summarize them into two. Some of the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are jalal, are jalali sifat. Jalal means majestic, supreme. So those are one type of qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And other qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could be categorized in jamali sifat. Jamali sifat means the sifat of the kindness, sifat of the mercy. So these are the two major types of the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can categorize them in two. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us with both of these sifat. As a result of jalal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we see the ghadab of Allah. We see the qahar of Allah. We see the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the disobedient. And with the jamal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we see the kindness of Allah. We see the mercy of Allah. We see the forgiveness of Allah. We see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to grant the mu'mineen the Jannah, which is such a gift, such a garden that no eyes have seen, no ears have heard, no heart have even thought about it. There is no perception. People have they are not even able to perceive how much they are going to get in the Jannah. For the amal, which is going to be 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. We are going to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are going to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our life, very short life here, for 100 years maybe, 70 years, 80 years. But as a result, Allah is going to grant us the Jannah forever and ever. It's eternal. So this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And since Allah has created us with these same two qualities, we also see that we also have, sometimes we have mercy and we have kindness, because of which we show love. And on the other hand, we also have anger qualities, that we get angry at each other. So these are the two major qualities we see in ourselves, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us with these two major qualities. And the raham of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demands the love. And because of their love, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demands that the human beings, the ashraful makhluqat, they love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the most. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. This is what Allah demands from the people of Iman, that their shadeed love could be, their strong love could be for anything. For their money, for their families, for their brothers, siblings, right? Their jobs, their careers, right? But at the same time, أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. But their ashad hub, the more stronger hub should be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And with these two sifat, Allah have created us, and as a result, there is two types of responsibilities upon us. The ibadat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed, they are nothing but the shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are also of two types. One is the type of ibadat that you have like of a royal system. It gives you an idea of a royal system, that you have to have adab, you have to have certain etiquettes, you have to be very formal. So there are two types of ibadat in which formalities are very important. And there is other two ibadat which are as a result of the jamal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the essence of those ibadat is the love, and it is the extreme love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no formalities on those two ibadat. So the first two ibadat in which we are supposed to be formal, and they are the result of the jalal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the salah. And then there is the zakat. These two are very formal ibadat. See, when you stand up in the salah, you have to fulfill all the formalities of a royal palace, of a royal court. A man stands up in the salah, leaves everything behind. He comes in the masjid, he says, this now everything that was halal outside of the masjid is not halal in the masjid. You know that if you are not mu'takif, you're not even allowed to eat, you're not allowed to drink. Why? You are in a royal court. This is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he stands like this, puts his hand around his waist, as if a servant standing in front of his master. How humble. This is very humble. And then he starts talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts very humble. He praises Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He glorifies Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even that is not enough. His love for Allah increases. He goes in the ruku. He humbles himself down even more in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Formalities, right? Everything has to be in order. The wudu has to be in place. Everything, if you move, if you do something which is mufsid salah, it would break your salah. You have to start all over again. And then he gets closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then eventually he humbles himself to a level that his forehead comes in the same level of his feet. This is the extreme humbleness in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one person does. And as a result, what happens? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a person is closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the state of the salah. As he proceeds in the salah, he eventually becomes closer. Why? Because every second, every new posture of the salah is only humbling himself even more. And he says, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in the state of the sajda, he is so close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this abd moment does not place his head but on the feet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how close you get in the state of the salah, that your head is on the floor, but it is in reality it is not on the floor. It is on the blessed feet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're on the feet. Now ask whatever you want. Ask whatever you want. But unfortunately, our brains are everywhere else. Our thoughts are wandering everywhere else. We want to think about our job. If we are students, we have to think about our studies. If we are a husband, we have to think about a wife. If we are the father, we have to think, when am I supposed to pick up my children? We lose this golden opportunity when our forehead is on the feet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a very formal ibadah. But every minute, so this person is used to practicing this. And then the next formal ibadah is the zakat. Paying the needy. This zakat is very formal. How much you have to pay, to whom you have to pay. There is only 8 categories of people that you can pay. And what is the benefit of this paying? That a person is reluctant from the salah because of his love for the money. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to clean his heart from the love of the money. Yes, you're supposed to keep money. It's a benefit to you. It's a khair to you. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ إِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ. The insan is that it is the khair. For this hub of the khair, this hub of the money, he is lashadid, he is very strong. But this hope for the khair has to be in its limits. It should not interfere when it comes to fulfill the obligations towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed, pay zakat, give it to the needy. When you don't have the love for the money, it would become easy for you to come in the salah. You don't wake up for Fajr, don't come for the Salatul Fajr. Why? Because you think, let me sleep for 2 more hours, then I will be fresh and I can go to the job. Why can't you come to the Zohar? Because you know that I'm working, I cannot take too much time off. I can only take a 1-hour lunch break. I can only eat and take some rest. I have to start making money again. What keeps you from Asr Salah? Again, the love of the money. What keeps you from the Maghrib and Isha Salah? So only thing that is going to interfere with your Salah is the love of the dunya, love of the money. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, give it up. Zakat, pay zakat. So that this this removes the love of the money and the dunya from your heart, so you can come and fulfill the obligation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the form of the salah wholeheartedly. With the realization that you are in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're in front of the supreme deity. These are the two types of ibadat that fulfill this, that are obligated upon us as a result of the jalal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, magnificence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Other two ibadat are the Sawm and the Hajj. They are obligated upon us as a result of the mercy and the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As a mercy and the kindness, what happens to a person? He becomes just like a majnoon. He loses his mind. There is no formal way of fulfilling this obligation. He takes an extra step out of the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he fulfills and he gets closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without any formalities. There is no boundaries to it. This person, all the year long, he was trying to come, finding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his salah 5 times. Waking up in the tahajjud in the middle of the night. Maybe I will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He started paying his money in the path of the beloved so that he can find the beloved. And the time of the Ramadan came. He stopped eating. He stopped drinking. His sleep was all changed. His sleep routine were changed. He cannot sleep anymore. The Ramadan just passed by. How many hours did you sleep? That is why on the day of judgment, the psalm would stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and would say, Ya Allah, forgive him because I did not let him eat and drink and fulfill his desires. And the Quran is going to come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and it's going to say, Ya Allah, forgive him. Why? Because I did not even let him sleep in the night. What is this? Breaking all the boundaries of formalities. There is no boundaries. You give up your sleep. You give up your food. All your schedule is upside down. Why? You're in search of the most beloved. You're in search of the beloved because the hukam, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. You were finding that ashad hub. You have some hope for your money, for your life, your career, but now you're going beyond these boundaries. You want to look for the extreme love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you give up your food. Not for 1 day, not for 2 days, for the whole month. You trained yourself. And what happened after 20 days went by? You even left your house. I don't even want the comfort of my house. I'm in search of the beloved. I cannot find the beloved anywhere. I came in the house of the beloved. Where would he else be? If he's not in the house, where else he could be? So this is an extreme search of the extreme, in the result of the extreme love for the extreme beloved. This is nothing but the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The whole procedure of the Siyam and the Qiyam and the I'tikaf was nothing but exhibiting your extreme passion and love towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This month of training went by, and now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing you for a bigger obligation, which is the summary of all these ibadat. Whether it's exerting your bodily efforts, or whether it is employing your health, or whether it comes down to spending the money, your wealth, everything put together, and you take a journey in search of the most beloved in the form of Hajj. What is this Hajj? In the Ramadan, you left your food, you left your drink, you left your wife. In the last 10 days, you even left your house. Your bedding was very comfortable, but you found even more comfort when you were that close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the house of the most beloved. Now the time has come that you have to leave your job. The time has come that you have to not only leave your family, you have to leave your own city. You have to come out of this comfort zone and head out to the sacred city of Makkah. What is this Kaaba? Subhanallah, there would be I need a whole lecture time to tell you what is the status of this Kaaba. Why everybody is attracted towards the Kaaba. Now this person starts his journey, leaving everything aside. And he is asking forgiveness as if he is going and never going to come back. Brother, please forgive me. Brother, if I have done anything wrong, do I owe you anything? Please take it back. Please forgive me. I have to go to fulfill the biggest obligation. I am in search of the Khaliq Haqiqi, the real Khaliq of everybody. How can I find him when I have not fulfilled the rights of his makhluk? See, he loves his makhluk. How can I find the beloved where I am not fulfilling the rights of his makhluk? So he clarifies all his accounts with all the makhluk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, heads out to that journey to find him. What happens? As soon as he gets to the miqat, those boundaries of the miqat, Even his clothes. These tailored clothes are not even acceptable anymore. They come off. The perfume, they get off. This kufi, this taqiyya, this comes out. The socks comes out. The shoes comes out. I was very particular about the brand name. No more brands. It's only 2 sheets. Just to cover your aura. Just to cover your satr. Just to cover your private parts. Just take that much and move on. Why? Because you're in search of a beloved. The Majnun has no life. He's in search of the Layla. He had no life. And then after he passing through the miqat, everything is gone. And now what starts? Another thing starts. With you have the different slogans on your tongue. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. La sharika laka labbaik. Oh, the most beloved, I was in your search and you had the hukam. You had obligated on me this bigger obligation of Hajj. You wanted me to leave the family. I did leave the family. You wanted me to come to the house in the middle of a desert, not in the Switzerland. Ulama said that if Kaaba were made in the Switzerland, watch, everybody would be going Hajj every day, every year. But it came in the middle of a desert that only the people with extreme love and the connection are going to come. Not everybody's going to come. You wanted me to leave the comfort zone of my house. I left it. You wanted me to spend the money. I did it. You wanted me to leave my kids behind. I did it. I left my house. I left even my clothes. You wanted me. Now I am present. Labbaik. So what is this slogan Labbaik mean? You don't know. Awliya Allah, some of the Awliya Allah, they passed away. Once they said Labbaik, the ruh came out. This is such an overwhelming kalima. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. La sharika laka labbaik. There is no one, no partners of you. There is no partner. There is nobody else. There is no other deity for which you can sacrifice that much. I'm present. And he moves on. And this is such a journey. There is no other journey of the world like this. Any other journey, it has a destination. This is one journey, it has no destination. You go to the Makkah, there is no formalities. If there were formalities, the first thing you're supposed to do is praise. The prayer comes after, but right now, you just look at the Kaaba and you get rewarded. In the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are 120 blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are showered upon the Kaaba every day. Out of those 120, 60 are the ones for the ones who are going to do the tawaf. 40 are for the ones who pray in the haram. And the 20 barakat are only for the ones who are doing nothing but looking at the Kaaba. You're not doing anything, not even saying subhanallah, alhamdulillah. You're just looking at the house of the beloved. Does it make any sense? 20 blessings just for looking at it. There is one more hadith which talks about you also get the same reward just by looking at it. There's 2 other personalities. You look at them with the love, you get the reward. Who are those? Your parents, your father and your mother. You don't do any khidmah. You don't serve them. Do not make them food. Do not press their legs. Do not give them a massage. Just look at them with kindness. Just look at them with the mercy, with the love. Rewards of Hajj Mabrur. So you look at this Kaaba. This is not a regular house. This is not only the piece of concrete. This is not only bricks. This is the house of the beloved. You are in the search of the beloved. Now he starts the tawaf. He's holding on to the curtains of the Kaaba. He's on the other side of the Kaaba. He's on this side of the Kaaba. He's on the east. He's on the west. Where? Maybe my beloved is here. Maybe my beloved is here. Where is he? He's so restless. In the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes so happy with him. He says, I'm everywhere. But he's an ashik. He's a lover. The lover does not has lost his senses. He has no sense. He's looking here, there, everywhere. And the end, Allah says, yes, you did find me. Now you have to kiss the Hajr Aswad. And in the hadith it says, when you kiss the Hajr Aswad, is it as if you have done the musafaha, as you have shaken hands with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he does the tawaf and he kisses the Hajr Aswad. Now he is still in the Kaaba. He is still in a city. Allah wants him to show even more junoon, even more love. So he is ordered to leave even that city. Now he has to come in a complete desert, which is the plain of Arafah. And Al-Hajj Arafah. What is Hajj? It is the staying in the Arafah. What is this Arafah? There is no ceiling, there is no roof, it's open land. It reminds you of the Akhirah, that this is how you're going to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody's only going to be worried about himself. So this is a reminder. On the other hand, it shows that this person is in real search of the most beloved. Inshallah, this thing has to, inshallah, will continue. There is a lot of wisdom, and there is a lot of fine things that are can be discussed in the Babul Hajj, and inshallah we'll continue next time. I was told that time is only till 1:30. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.